The early 80s was an important era for the NBA. Superstars such as Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Julius Erving were playing at a high level and exposing the game to a whole new audience. These players also had shoe endorsements from companies like Converse and Nike. These were the first shoe endorsements the NBA had seen. The Chuck Taylors revolutionized the game of basketball. They were the original canvas high-top basketball shoe used from the early 1900s to the 1970s.
When I played, we started out with just the normal white Chuck Taylor canvas Converse, and then it got very, very cool, and you could get black Converse high tops. And back in those days, the Celtics were the big NBA team, and the Celtics all wore black high top Converse. So we moved to those, and then by my senior year, Converse came out with navy blue high top canvas Converse, and those were about the coolest things we've ever seen because we were the Blue Jays and matched up with our blue and gold uniforms. So tennis shoes back in those days weren't really a big deal. There weren't many choices, so it was just really based on necessity. You had to have some basketball shoes. I think I paid $15 for my Converse high tops, so it was really it was big time back in those days.
So what shoe comes from this and evolved to this?
In the 1980s, Nike released the first pair of Air Maxes. These shoes had foam padding and an air pocket at the midsole, which made the shoe much more comfortable for players to wear.
Hey, that's the way to work, man.
Because of my age, 40 years old, I was that first group of New York City basketball players that wore the Air Force One when they first came out. And as you heard me mention over there, it was very incredulous to us to conceive of air in the midsole. And upon playing them, it was an immediate sell. These are way more comfortable than anything else you've ever worn, and that's what got us attached to it.
Converse's equivalent to the Air Maxes were the Converse Weapons. These were padded shoes with an anti-slip technology placed in the heel of the shoe. The Converse Weapons were endorsed by Magic Johnson and Larry Bird.
I heard Converse made a pair of Bird shoes for last year's MVP.
Yep.
Well, they made a pair of Magic shoes for this year's MVP.
Okay, Magic, show me what you got.
The Bird Shoe, the Magic Shoe. Choose your weapon from Converse.
The tennis shoe thing kind of got crazy then with the kids. It became more of a marketing thing, and the NBA, I think, evolved into such a huge marketing campaign for tennis shoes, and the players were starting to get tennis shoe deals to promote and advertise tennis shoes on TV, and that's when it really took off.
Mario R. Sarmento, a graduate student at Florida University, wrote his thesis paper on the history of the NBA on broadcast television. He discovered that from 1983 to 1984, the NBA was the only major sport in America to increase its TV audience, jumping up 12% from the ratings in 1981 to 1983.
The advertising of the shoes led to the shoes becoming a social tool for young people to talk about. We argue that this led to the rise in popularity of the NBA.
I think the NBA has probably more savvy than any of the sports as far as how to sell to their audience, and getting big name players to promote the tennis shoes was just a part of it back then. And the NBA, when I was growing up, was, maybe I think there was a game on TV, Sunday there might be a game on TV, one game, so it really wasn't that big a deal.
The first variety of shoes that emerged in the 80s led to the even more diverse choice of shoes we see today, like the new pair of Adidas shoes seen here. These new shoes are a big part of the modern NBA. They are advertised heavily and are the cornerstone for other advertising used during games. The NBA is now more popular than ever thanks to its advertising techniques.